Thanks for coming back to In the Mix on the Clay Allen Review channel and soon to be streaming on Geek Omelet and possibly on Red Cabin Acoustic if they're interested. Tonight we're going to talk about mic matters, like mic placement, the type of mic for your voice, the type of mic for you, just little hacks with mounting positions and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into it and bring the boys in.
Hey,
howdy. Everybody looking all chipper.
Snowbound.
Yes, we are experiencing. Well, actually, we just had the light and power company out here. Two of the houses across the street from us had no power, so they had to fix it.
I know it's so cold. It's like, I don't know, 65
That's not even
degrees.
that cold. No, it's 25 now. 25 is bearable when it's not too windy, but it's windy and it's snowing and it's yuck.
Yeah, overnight last night it was in the single digits. Now it's it was 19 when I left the house. Now it's 18, but that's still, for me, that's fine.
Yeah, well, like I said, if it's not too windy, I'm okay with that. But let me jump over to the comments and say hi to some folks. Pamela Hicks, how you doing? Thanks for jumping in there. Kevin, thanks for coming. Nice to see you in there. And then that's it. So Kevin said he's expecting ice there. I think he already had some.
King Paco's here.
King Paco, how you doing? Maybe King Paco might have been first. I think I wasn't scrolled all the way up. Do we sound okay, guys? Do I sound okay? I was messing around earlier, so plus I have a cold.
And I've never
You
used
sound
this mic
like
before, so
like AS. I just want to say terrible. AS.
Yes. Yeah. I think that mic sounds really good, Joe.
I'm happy with what I've played with it on. Yeah.
Yeah. That is
the
Blue Ember
side address, right?
Yeah.
That's a small diaphragm condenser side address.
Yep.
That is one of the. That microphone is a perfect example when somebody says small diaphragm condensers aren't meant for vocal. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Why is this? I gotta look at something here. Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to stream to my Facebook and it's giving me these red notices and says the connection was disconnected. Don't know why. But anyway,
Mark Zuckerberg does not want the truth about microphones getting out there.
Yeah, he's
that must be.
He won't stand for
inhibiting us. So.
The Zuck ain't into mics.
What is Kevin saying? Joe is slightly low to me. That's because his camera's mounted higher.
You mean volume wise?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he meant.
Oh, well.
You sound okay to me, but on the stream it could be different.
Kevin, I'm also
there you go.
A quiet guy too,
No, actually, I agree with Kevin, Joe. You were a little low compared to Clay and me.
I goosed it a little bit.
You sound
That's
good.
perfect.
You
sounded good
so
before.
You
sound great.
Stay warm, Pamela says. Yeah, it is. It is definitely. It's like I said. To me, it's warmer now than it was.
When I woke up this morning in the studio, it was about 40. And
inside?
The
studio?
Yeah. And when
Go ahead.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then when I left just now, it was 82.
Oh, that's better. That's too
when
hot,
I woke
actually.
up this morning in the studio, it was 40.
Yeah. No. How about no? All right.
Okay, wait. When I woke up in the studio. Sorry. It was country or was it me? I mean,
I don't know. That was like rock and country combined. That's good though. Rock and country, rap and country.
So Kevin, where are you in Texas?
Killeen. I forgot to send you.
I know the city, but whereabouts is it? Like
southern.
Southern?
Well, more southern because they don't typically get this kind of weather, and they got blanketed with ice. Last I saw, he sent me a picture from like 6 or 7 this morning. 6, 7. I don't know if you guys know that. But
Yeah.
So, it was just all. It looked like snow, but it was ice. Hours south of Waco. Okay, he's really far south. Waco's down there.
Does
Yeah.
not surprise me, having grown up there. I mean, if I were in school, I'd be, school would be closed. We're going, woohoo! No
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Yeah, but
We got to leave work early today, so that was good. That was good. I went in for 1:30, and by 4:00 we were heading out of there.
The university was closed today, and they're closed tomorrow. But of course, I was here today, and I'll be here tomorrow.
Ah, were you staying there somewhere?
Well, no, I mean, I walked to. I walked
that's
to
right.
work.
That's right.
I walked
That's
to
right.
school.
You're like
I live on
stone's
campus.
throw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I literally live across the street. As a matter of fact, I leave my car on campus. That's how close I am.
because it's so close.
So it's so close. Yes, I park on my car lives on campus, but yeah.
Right. Well,
I'm sure your son is ecstatic, Kevin. I dare say you and your wife are probably wondering what you're going to do.
yeah, I'm not ecstatic. You should see what we got out there right now. I'm not happy at all.
Well, no, I meant about
Probably,
his kid's school being canceled.
I want to say we've probably got close to 10 or 12 inches by now, and it's just bleh, painful.
I do not miss winter.
Well-
Do not.
I swept off my truck when I went to work, and within an hour and a half, there was already 3 inches back on it again. And then the guys came and shoveled outside, and less than 45 minutes later, there was 2 inches right back where they shoveled. And it was like you could hear it coming down. Normally, you don't hear it. Snow is very quiet. This sounded like a light rain because it was coming down so much.
And it was very small and had some
Yes.
ice crystals in it. Yeah.
Yep, the very tiny dry snow. Fluffy.
So what are we talking about tonight, guys, other than the weather?
So we're talking about choosing a mic that's right for you, that's right for your voice, choosing a good, proper mic placement, and I think maybe some mounting options. So, no credit to me or Phil. This is Joe's ideas, and I think they're good ideas.
Well, I mean, partly based on the things that you and Clay were talking about the other night, and some of the questions you got from, Copper Carver and some other folks about things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an extension from that
Yeah.
of what I was thinking.
That's perfect. That makes
It
a
is.
nice flow.
Yeah. So
Nope, that's perfect. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. So if anybody wants to start, they can. Phil, Joe. I know I bounce around with mics. Tonight I'm using one that's not in the budget realm or anything like that, but it's a good mic, and I don't really get to use it often. I don't like to use it that often because, in my opinion, my room is not treated the way it should be for a mic like this. Because when I use this, I hear a boxiness, but it still sounds good. I don't know if you guys are hearing that. Plus, I got that spring issue. So that's another thing
Not.
we can talk to them. You not?
What mic is that?
The SE 4100.
Oh, nice mic.
it's
Yeah.
the SE version of the 414, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Wait. Isn't the 44? Well, I guess is the 4100? I'm not trying to say I'm right and you're wrong. I'm genuinely asking a question. Is the
there's-
4100 a 250 AKG C215, whereas the 4400 is the multi-pattern 414?
I don't remember. Clay can tell us.
No, he can't.
That is an
no. I mean, no. On the front of that. What switches are on that one? That's what we're asking.
it has a DB pad and a it's a roll off. Hang on a second.
So it has.
First of all, let me just say, Mr. Red Cabinet Acoustics, that is a completely unacceptable answer.
No. I mean, I was thinking of it more in terms of the style, but you're right. The 414, depending on the model of 414, it's got a bunch of switches, and the 214 has 2 switches, a roll off and a pad. So that's like the 214. Then there's the 314, which most people don't know about, and they of all the AKGs done, and they're not innovating anymore. They just came out with the 114. Did you see the new AKGs?
No.
Yeah, they released like 3 or 4 new microphones,
Yeah,
didn't they?
yeah. I'm really
Ooh.
I'm anxious to see if they're any good.
Yeah,
I'm
the C114 I'm looking at right now, but actually the C114 looks an awful lot like this.
Or does
The,
that
Because
look like the
n
C114?
no, this was out first.
Oh, okay.
But and also the C114 is a multi-pattern microphone. Oh, I so need to get a connection at AKG. Oh
yeah,
my
Mm.
god.
it'd be nice for all the things I've done for them, but
Right? You've done a lot for them,
they've
Joe.
never called me.
No,
But anyway,
because they haven't seen it. They
yeah,
don't know.
probably
If they
not.
saw it and heard your voice, they would be calling you immediately.
Maybe I should send it to
So
them.
Reach out to them.
229, I wonder if this might be my new favorite. This might actually displace my beloved Bifaley V5.
Which one?
The new
C114?
C114
Oh, I don't know.
multi-pattern
yeah.
large diaphragm condenser microphone.
Have you played with the 214?
I have not played with the 214. But the 214 I know is not multi-pattern.
No, it's like the single-sided version of the 414.
And what's interesting is it looks like what they did was this body looks like the classic C414, but it doesn't have the long stem. It has a short stem.
That sounds like me.
So,
Ba-dum-bum.
ha, ha. It doesn't have any cut filters on it or high pass, low pass filters either.
Yeah.
It's just multi-pattern.
Well, the blue has nothing.
And as it should be.
So yeah. So,
anyway.
one of the reasons I thought it'd be good to talk about this is because one of the things I noticed while I was watching different and I don't want to. First, I want to say I'm not hating on anybody. That's not my point here. But one of the things I've noticed over the years of watching creators is they'll have really strong opinions about microphones and usage and things like that. But very rarely do they ever talk about the context from which they're coming. So if you're a newcomer and you're coming in and you're listening to someone talking about a mic and a technique, and they don't like a mic technique, it might not have anything to do with what you actually want to do. Right?
Correct.
Like Booth Junkie comes along and says, I am speaking to voiceover people. So all of my commentary is about voiceover people. And then you've got people like Bandrew who talks into them for quite a bit, but then he also plays because he's originally a musician. But I don't know if he's ever done any voice work. He may have, I don't know. Right. So, but he comes from a musical background, just like Bronson from Audio Hotline. Right?
Correct,
He was
yeah.
a musician, so they come to it from a musician. But if you were a burgeoning voiceover actor and you went to one of their channels, they might have a bias as a musician for a microphone based on it being for a musician. So that's the first thing I would tell people is to make sure that you have the self-awareness to understand where the reviewer is coming from, because they might not tell you. You have to kind of step back and figure out what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I just wanted to say.
And I have a good example of that. That there's a guy on YouTube, Daniel Batal, awesome creator. He does a lot of shorts. He does long form too, but he teaches people how to use DaVinci Resolve. And he comes from a musical background, and the microphones that he chooses to use are from the musical industry, not podcasting, not, so they're not really broadcast mics, but they sound good on his voice.
Right.
And that's and he had said what he uses, and I think I had heard of them, but I don't hear them spoke about hardly at all.
Yeah.
Not in this genre.
Yeah.
So-
And again, that's one of the reasons I think I like what Bandrew's doing now. He didn't always do it. If he's watching, Bandrew, I love you, but when I first found you, you were this raving maniac child screaming into a microphone. Man. It's been fun to watch you grow up. But I mean that with all the love of my heart. If you've watched any of his videos when he first started,
yeah.
they're really funny.
They're good. They're good.
Yeah, but they're full of energy. But boy, has he grown a
Yeah.
ton, So, but I kept watching, even
Does
though
he still do the box thing? That was one of my favorite things.
Yes.
Yeah,
He always like chucks the box really.
Yeah, that's one of his things. But he didn't always do this, but he'll take it into another room in his apartment, and he'll talk and clap, and he tries to be as comprehensive as possible, and not everyone does. So that's one of the things I would say is really try hard to find someone who's reviewing a mic in the context for which you would use it. And then, so music, voiceover, whatever, sound effects gathering, video, film, all those kinds of things. And then if you're using it for voiceover, try to find someone who's got a voice similar to yours. That's the other thing,
Right. Listen to people that are deeper toned if you're deeper toned.
Or you could, inversely, you could come to my channel and listen to me spout my opinion, not as any type of professional, and just some wise ass who likes to hear that. No, I'm just kidding.
But Philip, to be fair, I think that if you're trying to be a good, comprehensive reviewer, you would try to cover those bases. I'm just saying this is not all of them do.
Pointing out all the negatives and
some people are strictly again, I'm not trying to hate on anybody, but this, Phil, because you are one of those people. No, but a lot of new reviewers have just fallen into the trap of only being an extension of the marketing department for a company. And they're just really making commercials. They're not really reviewing the microphone.
Right.
And I think that it's just important to be aware of that. That's all.
Well, I mean, I never want to be.
I was going to say there's nothing wrong with that because that's what they're doing. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I will say there is absolutely everything wrong with that, unless I'm sorry. I'm being so saucy
you're
tonight.
being Phil. It's fine. Phil is saucy.
But for the people who don't know you, who might stumble onto this later, they might not know that you were in sales for a long time.
Yeah, I was in marketing for a long time, product development. Yeah. So everything is sales is my philosophy.
Yeah.
We are a wacky bunch, are we not? We've got a college professor, we've got a ex-marketing guy, and we've got a truck driver.
So what's this X shit? I'm just independent now. That's all.
Okay. Well, you know what I'm talking about. That's going to be in your title.
Right. It is a very, I keep going back and forth on that, but that's a topic for another thing. But that certainly is the channel that actually is a channel name that I registered. I haven't decided for sure if I'm going to stick with that, but
well, why not?
Yeah. And Kevin just said he should probably mention he's in a semi-treated room. I think you do. I think you and Clay both talk about your treatment when you're talking about microphones.
I have. I think I've worn it out. But
the thing is you cannot assume that anyone who's listening to something has been watching the last 15 videos you did.
Right.
I mean, you might assume some familiarity, but not a lot. I mean, it's interesting at the radio station, we could be playing something for weeks and we could be tired of it. And someone will call and says, "Oh my God, what was that song?" And we're like, "You've not ever heard that before?"
You haven't heard that?
Oh my gosh. We've been playing the heck out of that. But it's just the way it is. So
I think, a lot of people that listen to this stuff, I made this point in my upcoming video for the CAD E50. And I'm not sure, I don't think I cut it out. I think I left it in there, which was, I think it's been my experience based on what I've listened to and then the experiences that I've had with those exact same mics that I've listened to established reviewers, do reviews on. Is that by the time it gets to me, by the time it's gone through, I think I call it the meat grinder, the YouTube meat grinder, it is no longer steak. It is only hamburger. And the nature of the YouTubes and the internet is by the time it gets to me, it could be a really nice hamburger, juicy with depth and nuance, but still hamburger. Or it's a McDonald's Whopper. No, is it Whopper than McDonald's?
No,
Big Mac.
Big Mac. It's a Big Mac
with cheese.
Yeah,
it's all sauce with some compressed meat like substance. And I don't think a lot of people who watch these things to get a critical understanding of, or get an answer. Do I want to buy that microphone? Will that microphone sound good to me? Have a chance? I don't think they understand that they're not hearing. I think, at least I'm being generous, half of what we're hearing in the headphones, and it's not because they're incapable of hearing it. It's that the hardware is holding them back. The platform is holding them back, and so it's a certain amount of enjoying the demo, trusting the person talking about it, right, and their opinion of it, and and then the rest is their reaction to it, and
the truth to me is like you have to purchase, I think, more than one mic before you learn what mic's going to sound good on you.
Oh.
You might as a newcomer, you might pick up a mic and start using it and go, oh, this is great, and then just stay with that. But if you were to 6 months down the road purchase a different mic, you're going to hear something completely different and go, oh, whoa,
Kevin, Clay, that is the actual the only or the key to what I'm trying to teach my students, both in my recording class and my mixing class.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to understand the basics of how to record different things. But at the heart of that is, do I want the mic here or here? Is this better than this? Is this better here or here? Is it better here or here? When you're making an acoustic guitar,
goes into one of the other subjects of tonight's thing is placement.
Yeah,
right.
But the idea is being able to say, like at the optometrist, is this better or is this better? Is this better or is this better? Right? For anyone who's ever been to the eye doctor, both of them might be good, but one might sound a little bit more open or better, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, is there's no right answer. There's better answers. Unless it's broken or just bad. But, there are better answers and less good answers. So picking a mic that sounds good on your voice, listening to more than one, obviously it can be expensive. Borrow. I think that's one of the things that, if you can locally get involved with a group, it gives you the experience and perhaps the
that would be great
resources to be able to trade and swap out and stuff like that. That's why I own most of the mics I have. I mean, I do have a little bit of a fetish, which started 40 some years ago, maybe longer. So that's to be fair, that's kind of true. But I bought the Blue Ember so my students could experience it. I mean, that's really what my collection is about. So my students can try all these things so they can have a better idea of what they might want to do.
Go ahead, Phil.
And so much. I mean, positioning is just one of those things that makes a difference in our perception of, is this mic good for me? I mean, quite honestly, let's stick with the Blue Ember. That I bought one at $25. You got yours at a really good price. At that price point, I'm blown away with how that sounds. Now, would I have spent what was it, $249 that thing cost when it was new, or the $199? It's God no, God no.
But that's part of that tree. You start going
price
up and,
is part of it. Yeah,
but it also depends on there's another podcast I listen to, and one of the guys often talks about, are you buying tools, or are you buying something for your hobby, right? If this was your business, you would be buying it because it could make you more money.
And it's a tool that you can rely on.
It's very, very different than a hobbyist. I mean, if you're a podcaster, not in the audio realm, you could settle on one mic after you find that mic and get rid of them, right? But if you're in the audio realm, you might want to keep a mic around, or 2 or 3 or 5 to compare them to. Kevin says in the comments that, he doesn't think he could just stick to one mic. And me either. I like, it's just like, I can go out and I can fish for pike all day and catch lots of pike with one lure that I know is going to work. Except that, what's the fun in that? You want
to try out the rest of the lures.
Try different things. Yeah. So it's kind of like bait. That. Yeah.
No, so, very like that.
So let's talk about the value of positioning, because this is a pretty common position. You as well, Joe and Clay. This off access to somebody who's new. This may seem um, weird and not advisable because the logic would be, well, if the capsule is the circle that my mouth hole talks into, right? If I'm not talking into it, then I'm missing something. And in fact, this is a perfect example of how position changes the sound of this microphone completely, and not always for the worse. A lot of times, this microphone is very, as much as I love it, it's very prone to plosives, and also I don't want it blocking this masterpiece
No,
of
God, no.
human DNA.
It wouldn't even be worth
So,
watching if you did that.
so exactly, that's how I feel exactly. I don't know why nobody else feels that way. Except you, Clay. Clearly, you get me.
Yeah.
Positioning makes a huge difference. It can change the sound before you get to any equalization or compression or any processing at all. I mean, in effect, it is the most analog of processing, changing where that mic is in relation to the source, which is your mouth.
When
your
I was
voice.
first getting into all this, I had a tendency, and sometimes I catch myself doing it still, I had a tendency to be going like this every couple of, like, and leaning over like this.
Sure.
And then I would be playing them back. And so I know as creepy or weird as it sounds, I watch my own stuff over and over and over.
Well, you know that.
Yeah. And that's what I watch it for, is to listen to the sound. And I started noticing, every time I do that, it sounds really like it starts to clip and get distorted. Maybe I need to stop doing that, So that changed, to me, it changed the sound on a lot of my videos.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So if you have a directional microphone, like a cardioid or hypercardioid or supercardioid or whatever, the more directional it is, the more prone it is to the proximity effect.
Right.
If you've got an Omni, it's much less prone to the proximity effect. It gets louder, but it doesn't necessarily get deeper. Excuse me.
And for those in the audience who might not be aware, this is proximity effect. When you get closer to the microphone, the bass increases, the intensity increases.
Yeah. So when you're using a condenser microphone, I think I can say most, never say never, never say always, but most of the condensers I use are cardioid or some variety of cardioid. So they have proximity effect, but they're also more sensitive, and that's why condensers are more sensitive than dynamics. So we can talk directly into them. You gain a little bit of clarity, but you also have the problem with plosives. So if you're going to do that, I would suggest heavy foam or a windscreen.
See, I like the sound the proximity gives. It's the plosives and the sibilants that increase that I don't like.
Right, but you can increase the proximity effect and still speak past the microphone.
Right.
You don't have to speak into it, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. But the idea that there's a variety of things that go into that, unlike most of the, not all, but most of the broadcast microphones, the most popular microphones for most people sitting behind a board as a DJ or a, what are you laughing at?
Not you. Keep going. I was just trying to show Phil something because I didn't think he saw it.
So the idea of that most of those broadcast mics are, from my experience, are dynamic, and they, even though they're cardioid, they are not nearly as sensitive. And like the RE20 has a whole boatload of foam in front of it. The SM7B has some foam in front of it, or a lot of foam, depending on which cover you have, with a gap and a cage, right?
Yeah.
So you've got those are meant to be close talked into. They're meant to be
for people to see the large gap.
Yeah, they're meant to be really close talked, and you don't have that problem. And the proximity effect sounds great on radio, so
Yes.
There's that. But if you're doing something else, then clarity might be your friend.
I have a question real quick for you because you do radio.
Hmm.
The people at the station I work for every once in a while, every single one of them talks straight into the mic. They put it right like this.
Yeah. What do they have? Do you know what it is?
It's either an RE20 or an RE27. I can't remember.
Okay. Yeah, we do too.
With the windscreen that comes with them.
Yeah, the great big one.
The pop filter?
Well, it's it's only the same size as the mic, and it's like
Right.
a flag.
It's the disc pop filter.
Yeah, that's
No,
what they have
yeah.
on it.
The discs or the foam?
No, the little disc.
The disc.
Oh,
It's on the
okay.
rod that's mounted.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the,
yeah. I've got the EPOP, the repop.
Yes,
Our
yes.
repop from.
I think what they
Broadcast Supply Worldwide. Yeah, I've got a
I
black
think the
one for
way-
my 320 and a silver one.
I think they have a
RE20.
silver one on theirs. But
Or
one of the reasons I think they get away with it is, and I'm not saying their name because that thing is the dirtiest thing I've ever seen.
but do they use foam as well, or just that?
Just
Just
that, just that, whatever that screen is inside that little
Yeah.
tiny circle. That's it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yes, but you have to understand that great big head on the RE20, that's also filled with foam.
Okay.
Right.
So it's like an inch and a half back, probably an inch and a half back anyway,
Yeah.
with foam in front of it. So they're made to be close talked because they're made to be close talked. They're not made to. They sound good when you're close talking, because
Well, they're dynamics, right?
they're dynamics.
So I wouldn't say close. They're 3 inches, 4 inches away.
Oh, that's really far. For an
Maybe
RE20.
maybe 2. Yeah.
I mean,
It's not that-
most of the people with a foam windscreen on it are like their mustache is touching it.
Yeah.
They are really close.
These guys aren't. They're more like
Oh,
I don't know, about like that.
so that's not close then.
And the
I mean-
RE20 it's a forgiving microphone. It's designed. I mean, it was designed for radio, right, Joe? I mean, that's,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's a lot of marketing people. They'll say anything to get you to buy it.
Right.
yeah, those sons of bitches.
No, I'm teasing, but
Sneaky.
I've heard people say.
No, I know. I'm not.
No, but I've heard it's originally it's a kick drum mic, or it's a blah 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 mic, or when it was
Sure.
developed, they found out that it could stand very high sound pressure levels, so it was used on drums, but it can be used on a whole bunch of things. I don't know that anyone, while they're designing something, until they hear it, say this is going to be designed for X.
Right. They got to
Right?
hear how
I mean,
it
they have to
sounds.
hear
and what
how it
does.
sounds
Yeah.
first, and then they can market it towards its best things. Kind of like people were talking about, the SM58 stands for studio microphone. It's like, yeah, but the 58 existed already. It was just a different color.
Right.
So let's take the switch out. We're going to call it a studio microphone and try to market it for people for studio use. It wasn't designed for this. It already existed. I mean,
Yeah.
primarily, if you look at the lineage of that capsule and that body shape. Anyway,
And it's and in all fairness, the idea that microphone has survived and maintained its dominance, it blows my mind away, because quite honestly, now it's $109. You can get so much more of a microphone. I mean, it's not even a neodymium capsule. It's not even a particularly sensitive capsule. But I love the way my voice sounds on it, and I love the
Yeah.
fact that even a modestly skilled sound engineer at some event that I might show up to is going to have a familiarity with how that mic should sound on their system.
we're
I
talking about
can't
the
really
58.
tell how I sound on the
Yeah, 58, 57.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
headphones at the radio station. I don't know if they just don't have the volume up right. I don't like to mess with all their settings, but or if they're just really bad headphones, but you can barely hear yourself. Just barely.
King Paco says, I am still learning how to put my microphone in the right spot so I don't cut out, but I keep forgetting. Do you mean you move around a lot? Is that the...
Yeah. Well, a couple he was doing a live stream one time. This is a couple weeks ago. and he had the mic. I just keep grabbing this because it's easier to.
Yeah.
He had the mic in the position like, kind of like this. And I was just telling him, I was like, bring it down
Talking
here
under
more.
it.
You know, yeah, he was under it. It was almost pointing at his nose. Well,
Mm-hmm.
from the camera's view.
Right.
You know, I did say, you know, it might look different from where you're sitting, but from the camera view, this is what we saw. So there was he's got to remember to come down here
Well, mic technique is something you've got to practice. Like you said, go back and listen to yourself
over and over.
And you know, yeah. It's interesting. I've got one of my I don't even want to tell you what position they have because I don't think they would listen to this, but I've got someone on my staff. It's really fascinating because in conversation they have a lisp occasionally.
Yep.
I've never heard it on the air, not once. So I don't know if they just articulate different or what. But
well,
it's
either
just,
or they know they have it, so when they go on air, they purposely avoid it.
And it's not even a stereotypical lisp. It's a really interesting sibilance that's almost lisp-like, but I never hear it on the air. So maybe it's the RE20 is just that forgiving, or they work on it. I don't know.
We got a question that I want to get to
Awesome.
here. Kibo 1031. How does the Samsung Q9X compare to the RE20? He currently has an AM8 and he's looking to upgrade. So that's a good question for you guys, because I don't.
I'm gonna let Joe go first because Joe,
either of those.
Let me look to see. I'm gonna go look on here because I don't know. I'm trying to picture that microphone. I don't
So the
have
Q9
one.
the Q9X is basically a Q9U, which is the XLR USB. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Clay. I'm going off of memory here. It's just the XLR version of the dual USB
Possibly.
XLR
Like I said,
Q9U.
I'm not familiar with using either of these two microphones. So
Until Joe tells me differently, I believe that's what I'm going to go with. And my understanding is they're both tuned very similar. It's like they pulled out the USB portion of the electronics and components and just left it an XLR microphone, much like a lot of companies do it, but Shure does it with they got an MV7X, they have an MV7, they have multiple MV7s.
But would that mean that they did nothing to the XLR portion?
So
I don't think they did.
Okay.
But Joe, what did you find?
It's okay. On the back of it, there's a mid boost. So there's a mid boost like the SM7B, and that's the only adjustment. And it has a tightening ring, very much like the SM7B, but the plug is on the back, not on the shaft. I've never used one. I would suggest you go check out Bark at Obscure Mics. I mean, it might be fine. But it's a quarter of the price. So, and if you want an RE20 or something in that family, I would save up for one, or buy a used one from a reputable person to see if you like it. But the thing is, depending on what you're using it for, this may be perfectly suitable for many years. I can't make that decision, but I've never heard one. That's what I'm saying.
So
check with Bark or maybe Audio Hotline. They probably have both reviewed this microphone, and I trust both of them.
So assuming that they have not changed the EQ curve, the processing, the tuning. And I don't think they have. I think what they've done is because according to the Google machine, I'd have to pull out my Q9U to visually confirm it, but I'll trust Google on this. The Q9U also has an onboard mid-presence boost switch.
Yeah.
I can just tell you my experience on my voice. So if you have a voice that you think is similar to mine, I wanted to love, in fact, I really need to do that video. I wanted to love the Q9U. I really did. I found it to be very heavy on the lower frequencies. That it was very warm. It was very, on my voice, low dominant. And I don't have a voice like Joe. Joe has got a voice made for
he's
made
like
for
the
advertising.
thunder.
He's the velvet microphone. If somebody else has that name, too bad. It's now Joe's. I don't have that, but it's like the Samson wants to give me that, and it doesn't sound natural to me. And for what it costs new, I feel like I could get a mic that suited me better.
Okay.
But it's not a bad mic. In fact, there are a lot of Samson mics that are just unbelievable. I continue to be blown away by what is a USB-C multi-pattern small diaphragm condenser microphone from Samson that you can buy at the most $39 all over the place.
Before you go too far on another mic, what were you going to say about that one, Joe?
I was just going to say, I just looked up Bark 3 years ago. I've got the video pulled up, and it says Samson Q9X broadcast dynamic microphone test/review, not like the Q9U, except the build. So I would check out Bark and
so Kibo 1031. If you don't know who that is, on YouTube, just look up obscure mics. That is who we're talking about when we say Bark.
Yeah, and then he's listened to so many mics. He certainly like podcasters. His palette has gotten refined over the years.
Right.
And guess what? Another one, Audio Hotline. Samson Q9X mic review, and he compares it to the Q9U, MB7X, the Pod mic, the SM7B, the 2040, the P08, the 58, the Beta 58, and a whole bunch more.
Yeah.
So Audio Hotline also has a review on that, and I trust both of those guys. There's other people that are trustable. I just know them. I know their voices.
But watch them and soak in the knowledge on the mics, not so much the sound, because they might not have the same voice as you.
Yeah, and I could have asked Gemini, and they would have. Yeah, basically what Gemini pulling together the results of multiple reviews, they said it features a tweaked capsule specifically optimized for vocal performance. While both mics share the same core frequency response range, the Q9X is often described as having a brighter, more articulate sound with more punch in the mid-range. Compared to the Q9U, which can lean to a more darker, muddier profile. Well, there we go.
See, that's this kind of stuff like me and Joe, definitely Joe, I'm sure, because I need that mids. I need those mids to kind of even me out. Otherwise, it's, where your speakers are, vibrating. Like if I listen to stuff in the car a lot because it sounds good in there. It's isolated. And I'll hear that, and I'll go, I got to turn that down a little bit or raise the mids.
The Samsung Q9X is a $99 microphone, brand new.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Joe? There's some frequencies.
Oh, I'd just say in my rack at home, there's some frequencies on my graphic equalizer that I pull completely out of my voice.
Yeah.
Because there's so much down there.
See, I'm not that deep into it. I wouldn't even know how to do that, but I would figure it out.
Yeah.
I am inherently lazy, and as I've mentioned many times on many podcasts, my goal is to find a microphone that I don't have to worry about processing or equalizing to sound good on my voice. I just want to be able to plug it in and have, within reason.
But your voice, to me, sorry, your voice sounds good on a lot of mics, and I've heard you on certain mics that you sounded great and you didn't like it, and I was like, it's personal preference. It's more personal preference.
Well, it also has to do with how well. I mean, I'm 60, and when I was a young man, I spent far too many hours in a poorly designed speaker room cranking speakers that had no business assaulting my ears and destroying my hearing. So, and then concerts and all other kind of stuff. When I later went into corporate life, there was a lot of that. So, my perception of how my voice sounds, it may not be accurate.
Yeah.
So King Paco wants to know Rode Pod Mic, Fine Tank 6 or Wave
Yes.
3. I know, Clay, you've been wanting a pod mic to play with, and you haven't gotten one yet,
So
have you?
here's my thing on the pod mic. I want one badly. Not because I think it's a good mic. I want to use it to compare stuff with.
Right.
I'm not saying it's a bad mic. I am almost certain it is a very well built, durable, long lasting microphone. Rode makes good products.
And going back to both to Bark and Bronson, Bronson is Audio Hotline. Going back to both of them, they really both liked the pod mic when it came out, and now they don't so much,
Right.
because there's so many other microphones
That have changed.
that are changed their opinion of it around the same price range. But same with Tom Buck. He used the pod mic for a long time and loved it. So there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
You might just be able to get a mic that's easier to make sound good depending on where your voice is.
Like what Phil is looking for.
Exactly.
Kebo 1031 said that his voice is so bassy, he has to turn. I'll go ahead and put that on the thing. Turn the gain to 3/4 and the mic almost to 3/4 in OBS, just to get it to sound decent. So you guys were asking him what kind of voice he had.
Right. So he might want to thin that out a little bit.
Yeah. If you're really bassy,
if you're really bassy, and now you can also get a little bit more distance that way too.
So I'm actually gonna give Paco an opinion based upon those mics that he that he listed there, and from on my voice, from just purely the way it sounds, I think that the AM8. I mean, I'm not thrilled with honestly any of those mics. But out of that list, I think the AM8 on my voice actually sounds pretty good. Not blown away by the Tank 6. I do like that. What is it? The Tank?
No, Tank 1 is to me better.
The Tank
than
1.
Yeah, it's better than the 6.
If you'd put the Tank 1 on that list, I would have said the Tank 1.
Tank 1 is good.
So, but the AM8, especially the newer one, I think they got it pretty well balanced.
I'm not crazy about the Wave, the Elgato. I'm sure it's the Elgato, the Wave 3. I'm not crazy about them. They just don't do it for me. I think if he's got a pod mic and an AM8, he doesn't. Those are good. To me.
I'm gonna tie a couple thoughts here together. Kevin said that we're all what's exactly
the
what
worst
he says
critic.
here?
We're all our
critic
own
for our
worst.
own voice, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna make an apology, because one of the best things that you could do is have someone else that you trust listen to your voice. And Philip sent me some audio samples for me to do that and give him some feedback. And I've been getting my butt kicked at work. So, Philip, sorry that I haven't gotten back to you about those.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay.
Still but I want to help. But they're still in my inbox, and I haven't forgotten. I just had some stuff dropped on me this week. But I will get to them. The other thing is I want to listen to them in a good room with good headphones. So that's the other, But anyway, yeah, I think it's a really good idea is not to always try to tune your own voice. I mean, there are people out there who will actually will create a vocal chain for you. So if you say, look, I'm trying to do work in corporate audio or commercial audio or whatever as a voiceover artist, they will try to tell you what to do in the same way that some of us around here have tried to do the same thing with AI. Although I'm not sure I would always trust AI. I would take whatever AI told you and then have someone else listen to it. Because,
if you're referring to that when we were talking about you running our samples through ChatGPT Yeah. I think I stressed it every time I talked about that, not to use that as your Bible. Use it as a foundation. If you're somebody that doesn't know what you're doing,
Try it.
Start there and then start doing your thing.
Right.
I just want to swing back to Paco's question real quick because I just had a thought here. It's because that's a mishmash of different microphones, and some of them are just straight XLR, others are XLR USB. I guess the thing that I would add to it is, if you don't need USB, if you're not anticipating that would add value, I would not. I mean, there are other microphones for under $100 that you can get that, I mean, we just talked about, well, it's not $100 anymore, but the SEV7, the Clay, you were using it the other day, the Sennheiser E835.
Yep. I think it's for me, it sounds good.
Yeah, these are microphones that if you're going to, I mean, yeah, if you're just talking into it, like we're doing now, any of those will get the job done. But if you anticipate that you're going to be doing something a little bit more at some point than just talking into it, if you're going to be singing into it or God knows yelling into it or using it on instruments, there are other microphones in and less than that $100 price range.
So
that straight XLR will sound great on a lot of people, and
So-
you can grow with them.
yes. So
Or they'll grow with you.
Kevin says out of those three, he prefers the Tank 6.
Hmm.
Right. And the other thing to
Out of
again,
what three?
I think the three that
The
Okay. There's one.
pod mic, the AM8, the
Two,
Fine
three, yeah.
Tank 6.
Yeah, that's what I think is. So along with that, so let's tie some of these things together, right? Because this is what I do when I have the time. I don't always have the time, but when I have the time, if I've got a new mic, or if I get a good deal on a vintage microphone, like I often do, because I try to buy stuff cheap, is I will take it and I will set it up like this. I'll set it up, voice level, and I'll get it off the side. One of the things I was talking about last time in the comments on your last review is if I'm trying to figure out how close can I get it to my mic without getting plosives, I will put my hand in front of my face and I'll make plosive noises, pop, 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 and I'll move it to the side. And then as soon as I don't feel it, I know that that's as close as I can get it without keeping
Without
it
having
in
those
the air.
going in the
So
capsule.
that's where it is. But then I'll move it far and out to find out where the proximity effect is most rich. That gives me an idea, right, about this direction and distance. Well, the other thing is you have added, altitude, right? A lot of people will underboom. They'll have a microphone down below. So if it's on the desk, you can have it pointing up. The problem with that is, there's the problem with that for some people is, you've got this area that it's pointing up at. So even if it's pointing your mouth, you might be getting also your head, depending on what's going on with your sinuses. You might sound kind of nasally if you've got a nasal resonance. So if a microphone that's down pointing up might not be the most flattering for your voice.
Because you're going to catch all that.
For you're going to catch all that. For me, when I'm doing voice work, I'll turn this down for a second. Can you hear me now? Everybody back on?
Yep.
Okay, so normally what I'll do is I'll put it up about, it's not quite as high as I normally do it, but I put it up about my eyebrow level and I have it pointing down at my mouth, but then I'm getting any resonance out of my chest,
Right.
which helps the deeper, more, that sexy sound.
I believe you taught me that. That's why I do this.
Yeah. But that can have not a huge difference, but it can have some difference on harnessing the qualities that a mic may or may not have. I could take most of the pencil condensers I have and hang them up here like this, and they sound just as good as any of my large diaphragm condensers.
Right.
just because they're getting a lot of clarity, but they're also getting a lot of resonance from here. Now that works for men. Does it work for women? Some, maybe. Does it work for all men? Maybe, maybe not. I think it's just, that's why you have to play.
Yeah.
So you set it up, you read.
They should
set it up and then you read something.
Thing where you can try a mic for 30 to 60 days.
Oh, you can.
Send it back.
I mean, there's a lot of music.
I know you can rent stuff, but there
are a lot of music stores you can rent stuff. Most bands don't buy all their stuff for a tour.
What are the prices like for that?
Oh, it's a few dollars a day.
Okay.
Or, I mean, you can go to places like Guitar Center. They have a 45-day return policy, too. So you really can get familiar with it.
And a lot of those places have mics on stands. So you can put a pair of headphones on and you can walk through and try them all.
I was just going to say, set them up so that everybody can try them out.
Oh, yeah. A lot of places have those set up.
I mean, I just recently, when the show, Clay, there, show where you were using the EA35, I no longer have my EA35. I don't have it anymore, and so I went up the street a block and a half to the local Guitar Center, and I was like, "Hey, can I listen to an EA35 and EA45?" And they were like, "Yeah, here, go." And they just literally just pulled out a couple of new in the box, threw it on the counter. And they're like, "What do you want to listen to it on?" I'm like, "No, I got my own little field recorder, and, brought my headphones."
Oh, so they would have even set you up with something to use it on. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I have a Guitar Center, but it's like a 30-minute drive, 45-minute drive, and I don't.
They're still dangerous places. I used to spend a lot more time in them. And I will admit it's different for the younger crowd. Most of the people in those stores are people my age these days. But still, I mean, you get lost, especially if you do something more than just like I'm a guitar player, I'm a keyboard player, so I can literally go
items in there, right?
Yeah, they do. It's interesting though. I think the store managers set the pricing on that kind of stuff because you can find a really good deal on like I've seen SEV7s for $69 at Guitar Centers out of New York or New Jersey, but the Guitar Center down the street from me, their used price is like $94, and it's like, will you match that? No, that's on that one. There must be something wrong with it. No, no, they just want to move the inventory. But yeah, find your local music store. They're more than happy to get a chance to help you out, talk to you, convince you to buy something, and make a sale, and not lose a sale to Amazon. So
what is it? Kibo 1031. Are you near a large municipality? Just curious if you're still there.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's another one probably in Warwick, Rhode Island. I think there's one possibly that I could go to. It's just all of them for me. I'm in the woods and everything is 30 minutes away, or it's like, ugh.
Just plan on spending a couple of hours there, Clay. It makes that half-hour drive to and from worth it.
Yeah. Let's see, Southington, and that's about 2 hours away.
That's a little bit excessive.
Let's see if there's. I'm trying to see if there's one in Rhode Island, because if there is, that's not too far.
Well, next summer when we don't have several feet of snow, in the cabin, I'll just take all the mics. You can come up for a week and you can just play all day.
Just play with all the mics. Yeah, we should. Definitely.
Well, that would be interesting. We could have a mic meetup
at the cabin.
Well, I won't be there. I can't travel that far, but still, I would if I could. But that sounds kind of cool.
You're welcome, Kevin. Or we can come to California sometime too.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
I am unfortunately, although I am incredibly rugged and handsome, I am pretty much homebound. So I am kind of stuck. I have a 15-minute max driving limit before my back starts screaming at me. So, and in fact, my back is already starting to scream at me. If you guys are noticing, I'm bouncing my legs. Sorry, I'm going to stop doing that.
Well, if it relieves the back, go right ahead.
No, it doesn't relieve the back.
Do you have
I'm just screaming without screaming.
Have you found a chair that you like? Does that help?
The chair that I'm in helps. It's not a bishop's chair. I forget what they call it. It's basically you see them a lot at kitchen tables. It's not that it's high back. It's that the bottom is just like a thick cheesecloth. It doesn't have a hard surface.
Got it.
So you're kind of sitting on a spring, a series of
Buoyant.
springs and rods.
Yep.
Yeah. That helps. But honestly, just being in a seated position for an extended period of time. And I was doing things today that I shouldn't have been doing that were irritating my back because there was nobody else to do them, and they needed to be done. So I came into this with them. Anyway, it's not about that, but I do understand being limited to the driving distance. Yeah. I don't know if you got to wonder if some manufacturer has thought of coming up with if you dial into my website wearing these headphones and you have this interface, I can model for you what your voice is going to sound like within a certain amount of accuracy on all these different microphones. I wonder if that's. I mean, it should be technically possible, but
it would be, but you'd still have to have a reference mic, right? You would have to send them audio on a specific mic in order for it to do the match.
You just reminded me of something I want to talk to you about after the show. Yeah, I had a anyway.
Kevin was wondering if you ever tried a gaming chair.
Yes, I can't sit in anything with a hard bottom. I have tried so many. I started having back problems when I was working at Sony, and I got to tell you, corporations, because they can write this stuff off, they will bend over backwards trying to get you a comfortable chair. And funny story, I kept stealing this kind of chair because these were the guest chairs in the executive offices. I was not an executive. And when you go up in rank in a lot of corporations, you get, your cubicle gets bigger, you get more storage, you get a closet to hang clothes in if you want, then you get a private office, then you get an office with a guest table in it. And so the senior executives all had little round guest, little meeting table for the corner of their office and these 4 chairs kind of like this. And I was always stealing a chair from the unoccupied executive office to sit in. They didn't want me to keep that chair because it was like, that's not for you. That's for executive meetings. And it's like, but I can sit in it. It took them years just to get off my back, literally. But they kept trying to get me into an office style chair. So yeah, Kevin, I've tried gaming chairs. I have steel case, and they've wasted so much time and money. And I'm like, I can sit in that. Just let me sit in that. Please let me sit in that. Leave me alone. Anyway.
So did we hit all of the points that we were trying to hit tonight?
No.
We didn't have to talk about mounting, but
Nope.
we could do that again some other time.
Just checking because we're beyond an hour, and
Yeah.
I'm going to want to start cutting it off soon. I got to go out and start shoveling
Yeah, me too.
because I don't want this all to be done in the morning.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I've been shoveling for an hour and 10 minutes. So
Yeah, we know.
yeah, this conversation, it borders on, I mean, just what I'm going to stop talking here in a minute, but this is a perfect example. I love this microphone. I love this microphone on my voice. I love the way it makes my voice sound. This pop filter is a CAD pop filter designed for the E50, which is a crazy plosive heavy microphone. Peter Piper picked a peck. This is too. Peter Piper, right? Now watch this. Peter Piper picked a peck. Oh, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. It cuts it significantly, not as much as it does on the E50.
They're still there, but it does cut it.
But it's an interesting pop filter. I don't have another one like it that does what it does. So, I mean, just the foam, and there should be no surprise. The formulations on foam, they're kind of endless. The densities, and you can get the density can change from the inside wall to the outside wall. I mean, it
I
really
like
is a science.
I think the real velvety ones on the fine products are cool,
Mhm.
but I
Mhm.
like the bigger pore, like the more porous pop filters. I feel like those do a better job of letting things in that should be coming in.
I think the theory I have with like the big huge pop filter that comes with the SM7B
Yeah.
and the SE the Dynacaster, it's a very rough kind of foam, right? It's wide cell, open cell,
That's what I'm talking about.
and I just think it channels the breath
Have a
and
good one,
lets more of the
Kevin.
sound through. Take care, Kev.
All right, Kevin.
But then again, you got, there are other brands out there like this little dude that's
Lex
very
Mofi.
soft, Lex Mofi, and
Yeah, that's
they
what I
also
have
do a
mostly.
great job.
But those tend to be a little more dense, closed.
Yes.
Film and dense.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, they're a
So
little
kind
But
of like
they don't muffle your voice though. That's what I find
Yeah.
interesting about Lex Mofi. They are dense. But I don't find that if anything, my voice just got brighter from using this. And let's see.
Well, your
Peter
picture
Piper picked the
definitely
pecker
got
pip-
brighter.
Yeah. Well, like the Hakan, right? The windscreens or the pop filters.
The fish
The
filter
Haken, the Haken or
the fish
Hakan.
filter. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's like the.
Yeah, I've got one. I've never used it. I mean,
Those are like really wide pore Scotch bright pads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I bought an aftermarket when it was on sale, and it
like a
looks
loofah.
just like it. And I bought it. I
Yeah.
haven't used it, but I also have one of the metal ones. Again, I bought on sale one of the what's the brand?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I just literally bought
It's the same
a bunch
company,
of
isn't
fish
it?
tank filters.
Stedman.
These are
Stedman. Yeah.
These are actual fish tank filters I purchased off of AliExpress.
Wow.
Each of these was like less than $1. And I have a Hakan that came with a microphone that I bought. And honestly, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. These work just as well.
It sounds, that's great.
Because the only reason I don't use these, and the other is, again, it kind of blocks my face. I guess if the mic was, if I were using my
Just back it off a little
505,
bit.
which I can back it off. Well, the problem with backing it off there, Clay, I can back it off, right? But then what ends up happening is I have to turn up the gain, and then you're picking up more of the room.
Yeah.
And you're still, I don't know. It just changes the sound.
I don't hear
too
any more
much
of the
for me.
room.
Okay, well, this is a perfect example, and you're right. If you don't hear more of the room, you don't hear more of the room. I do. So what's going on? YouTube is compressing the hell out of this signal.
It's just here. So a lot of times when I'm recording,
Yeah.
I hear things in my headphones that I don't hear on my playback.
Right.
I think it's just the sensitivity of our headphones. There's that. I thought that sounded better than how you've sounded the whole time.
Really? You think this sounds better than how I've sounded the whole time?
I don't know. Am I wrong?
Testing. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong or you're right. I'm
Joe,
genuinely asking a question. Do you
I
think this sounds
felt
better
like
than the way?
They're doing that. There's a little less distortion at the top.
Oh, interesting. What do you think,
I don't
Joe?
know. Maybe it's
I
just
think
me.
you sound loud and clear.
You're coming through perfect.
Wow. Well, go figure. See, I don't know everything. I barely know anything. So yeah,
But you are not getting the proximity that you were getting before.
No.
No.
It's a little thinner, but it's clear. It's fine.
yeah. I mean, I guess I can even increase the gain a little bit more if I wanted to, so I don't have to feel like I'm talking so loud. But so you're really not hearing my room though. You're not hearing my voice bouncing off the walls or the ceiling or anything. My desk. Interesting.
I'm not. No.
Sounds kind of hollow to me.
See,
It
that's how
sounds
I
kinda
feel like
hollow
this
to me.
sounds. I feel like this is very hollow or boxy.
Interesting.
Do I sound that way to you guys?
No, you don't sound hollow or boxy at all.
So you see what I'm saying? A lot of it is the sensitivity of our headphones, and we're hearing things that aren't coming through on a stream or on a recording. So
Yeah. So just ignore
Maybe.
what we said. Go buy the microphone that really turns you on, and I'm sure it sounds great.
But the reality is that microphones that are popular by people who use microphones tend to be a safer choice.
Right.
But part of doing this, and by doing this I mean doing anything in audio, there's a learning curve, and sometimes you have to learn to do what you can with what you have until you can buy better tools.
Yep.
And let's be clear. Out of all the microphones we talked about, then I don't think we talked bad about any particular microphone, but clearly they come in a range of opinions as far as how they sound. All of them sound pretty decent, and most people, if you're using, one of them, you're going to sound very professional.
Yeah, use it properly, and you're good.
Placement has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, I mean, and it just depends on what you're doing. If all you're doing is doing a podcast, that's one thing. If you have dreams, though, of making a living doing, spoken word, a voiceover.
I'll give you an example to support that. I have tossed around the idea. Finances is the only thing stopping me right now, but I've tossed around the idea of opening a studio that is meant for places like banks, real estate companies, doctors' offices, anybody that wants to come in and do a podcast. I can film it for them. Film it. If they want it edited, we can talk price. If I was to do that, I would probably buy a bunch of SM7Bs only because they're rigid. I don't have to. Everybody is gonna sound the same as long as they're doing what they're supposed to do.
And you could still EQ them if you need to.
Could EQ them. For me in here, no, I'm not gonna buy a bunch of those because for one, they're too expensive. Two, I don't need that. I bounce around from mic to mic anyway. So there's two different scenarios that warrant two different types of products.
Yeah, I thought about doing the same thing, creating a space for people to maybe they don't have a quiet apartment, maybe they want to try a bunch of different microphones, maybe whatever. Buying an old house and cutting up all the different rooms into studios.
Yeah.
Call it, the neon sign I would put out front would be called the voice box, and you could come in and say,
cool.
what microphone do you want to use? What size room do you want to try it in?
You're saying basically what I just said we need.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah, but I've thought about doing that, and then it makes sense to buy these mics. And it's like, you wanted this mic in a room for an hour? Well, the price would go up depending on the cost of the microphone. Yeah.
You should do that.
Maybe I will in retirement. Maybe next year.
Yeah, you say that. But life has plans for you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. No, but my point was in that environment, that's like at home, I have junky tools that I might have gotten from Walmart or Harbor Freight. If I was a carpenter, I would go to Lowe's or order online, and I would go direct through, DeWalt, Milwaukee.
Yeah, I've got a Milwaukee skill saw. Yeah,
but I don't have a skill saw at all now. But when I did have one, it was a skill.
Oh yeah.
Like the cheap brand, like
there is only one skill saw, and
the
that's
original skill saw. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a skill, and I think a Black & Decker or something or other.
Excuse me, circular saw.
Yeah.
Everything else is the circular saw. It's just like there's only one FedEx, and everything else is shippers.
There's only one crescent wrench.
Right.
That's correct.
But you see,
yeah,
tools versus hobby, kind of like what you were saying earlier.
There is only one Sony. Oh no, not anymore. Now it's TCL Sony.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, I think so. We covered placement a little bit.
A little bit. We can talk about accessories more in depth some other time, maybe.
We talked a little about fish tank filters and pop filters. So yeah.
But I think we're talking to ourselves.
We're pretty close. Yeah. There's three. There's probably Kevin leaving it on in the background. Paco maybe leaving it on in the background.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap this up.
We'll wrap it up. It was a good show. We got some progress. So I don't think any show is a bad show, Phil. Anytime I get to hang out with you guys and shoot the shit on stuff like this, it's a good Good show.
I appreciate you calling me out when you said that. I don't think I said it was a bad show. I said it was a bad show for me. Because I wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
But
You're your own worst critic, just like all of us. But
I am, and that's what the guys in Learned Learner were saying the other night. Your own worst critic.
Me and you go back and forth with this shit too, because I'm always like, yeah, I'm not as smart as you guys, and you'll get all upset because I'm saying I'm not smart, and I'm like, no, it's not. So, and then I gotta, whatever. Preaching to the choir, the preacher, whatever that saying is.
Gosh darn it, Clay! I'm gonna do you a solid, and I'm gonna agree with you. You're not as smart as me. You are not.
See,
just if it makes you feel better, sir. Just trying to make my friend feel good.
So, I actually do not have an outro tonight because I messed up in the beginning. So. When we are done, we're just done. And there's only one person watching now, so let's wrap it up and see everybody in 2 weeks. Sound good?
Cool.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Joe, thank you for doing the work and coming up with the topic, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Be safe shoveling, both of you.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go do that after. I'm gonna end this, and then we'll chit chat our way out of here, and then I'm gonna go out and do that. So,
All right.
Okay.
2 weeks.
Bye, everybody.
See everybody then.
Peace.